Hey, what's going on, guys? Check this out. This is the Smith & Wesson Model 36. I just picked this up today at the gun store. I wasn't really planning on buying a gun today, but the price on this was so low, and it was such a good deal, I just couldn't pass it by. This is a Model 36, no dash, which means it's first production. It's pretty old. I don't know exactly how old it is, but for being pretty old, it's in really good shape. It has the original wood grips on it. It's actually the round butt, or the square butt instead of the round. And the square butt feels a lot better, and I just like the way it looks. When it comes to me and revolvers, I really like the old school looking revolvers from either the 60s, 50s through the 70s. And it's just a preference thing. I like the way they look. I like the big fancy wood grips on them. And I just like them looking classic. I hate all the new Smith & Wesson revolvers, especially all of them with the rubber grips. I've owned a lot of new Smith & Wesson revolvers, so I do know what I'm talking about. And the quality on the new Smith & Wessons, you can't compare it to these old ones. This Model 66 right here is one of the nicest .357 Magnums ever made by Smith & Wesson. And the only nicer Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum than this right here would be the Model 27. Now, of course, this is the same thing as the 19, so the 19 is extremely awesome. But the best of the best .357 Magnums ever made by Smith & Wesson was the Model 27. And if I could have any Model 27, I would want one with a 3.5-inch barrel, which are the most rare and most desirable. But back to the Model 36. This is going to be one of my everyday carry guns. And one of the reasons I really wanted to get another J-frame was because I've owned a Model 60 in the past. I wish this was a Model 60, only because I'm not a big fan of nickel plating. It looks nice, but it's delicate, it scratches easy, it wears off. And, I would just rather, a high-polished stainless steel or something like that. But, oh well, if I ever find a Model 60, maybe I'll trade this for the 60. I'll take these grips off it, though, and just throw on some rubber grips. I'm keeping these grips no matter what. Even if I get rid of the gun, I'm going to keep these grips. Because everybody knows these old Smith & Wesson grips are impossible to find. So, I'm not going to be shooting this gun, really, because I think we all know what a snub nose is capable of. It's not the most accurate gun due to the short barrel, but it's decently accurate. And I don't really want to shoot this gun that much because it is nickel plated, and I don't want to make it all ugly. I would much rather a stainless steel revolver, which is what this is, the Model 66, only because, they don't scratch as easily, there's no wear from holsters, and when it comes time to clean the revolvers, my favorite thing about cleaning, the stainless steel revolvers is when I clean the front of the cylinder. Well, this one's a little dirty because I was shooting it not that long ago, but normally I'll clean the hell out of this with the stainless steel to the point. I'll just clean the whole gun to the point where there's not like a single black mark on it from gunpowder. But now that this is a nickel plated, I can't clean it as good as I would my stainless steel. Not a big deal. Like I said, if I ever come across a Model 60, I might trade it for, this for the Model 60, but I'm not 100% sure yet. This is just an awesome looking gun. I love these old classic Smith & Wesson revolvers. The price on this gun was only $360 out the door. It didn't come in a box or anything, but I think that's a good ass deal. $360 out the door for a nice Smith & Wesson. This is just such an awesome gun. It's in a lot of movies, Goodfellas. This Model 36 is in Goodfellas a whole bunch of times. This is the gun that Ray Liotta, pistol whips the dude with. It's the gun his wife Karen points at his face. And they used the Model 64 and Model 10 and Model 36, but even in scenes where they have a Model, what is this, the 36? Yeah, I think there's so many different models I always forget. But even in the Goodfellas, when they're using the Model 36, this is a 5-shot revolver. There's one scene where, Tommy is shooting at Spider, and he actually has a Model 36, but for some reason in that movie the gun had 6 rounds. So he actually should have been using the Model either 64 or Model 10, which is the 6-shot snub nose. It's actually a K frame, this is a J frame. So even though they look very similar, I guess the Model 64 and the Model 10 are a little bit bigger. This gun is basically just going to be depending on what I'm wearing, I'm either going to carry it on my ankle or in inside the pant holster. But normally when I had a Model 60 in the past, I would just wear it on my ankle. But it's just a nice little small gun. It's very light, and I really like revolvers, and I wanted to start getting back into buying the old classic Smiths. Even though this one doesn't come with the case or the box, it kind of bothers me a lot, but I'm not going to let it bother me that bad, or that much. It's still a really nice little gun. I'm loving these old school grips, and it's in really good shape. The bore is immaculate. The lockup is really tight. Whoever owned this gun in the past probably just had it for it could have been their only one gun that they owned, because there's hardly a scratch on it. It looks a little dinged up right now. That's just because I had it in my Galco holster and this like fur stuff inside, or wool, whatever the hell it is. It makes the gun all like smudgy and it smears it all up. So once I get it cleaned up, it's gonna look like a mirror. But it's just an awesome little snub nose, and I got it for a great price, and I just figured I would show it to you guys. Alright, I'll see you guys later.